Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to start a new show. This is episode 1 of Marvel's She-Hulk. I've been pretty excited for this show. I generally enjoy the character of She-Hulk. I haven't done super deep dives into the character in terms of reading the comics. I've read a few of the comics, but not a ton of them. But I think she's a fun character. She's being played by Tatiana Maslany in this show, so she's a pretty good actress, and she's in Orphan Black, if you've ever seen that. So pretty excited for this. But yeah, this is gonna be like a lawyer crime procedural comedy show. Probably not super long of episodes, probably shorter episodes, but I think, how many episodes are there gonna be? 16 or something like that? I forgot how many exactly there are, but as long as it's not 6. I think that's the main thing we're rooting for, is no more 6-episode shows from Disney. That would be pretty prime. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to jump into this. So before we do that, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. That means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. Since this is the first episode of a new season, that full uncut will be completely public for anyone to check out. And if you find that that's something you're interested in going forward, then your support would mean the world. But other than that, let's jump into episode 1 of She-Hulk. Oh, I missed the Marvel music. A few of the last shows haven't had it as much. If you're new to the channel, that is a reoccurring thing with the Marvel theme song.
What is the responsibility of those with power?
To use it well.
The defendant used their limitless resources, political and monetary, for financial gain at the expense of public safety, causing the deaths of innocent people.
Tony Stark?
Because those with the most power have the most to answer for.
And you win the case, and you are not
Good.
helpful here at all.
Good practice.
Bye, Dennis.
You're gonna listen to a paralegal over another lawyer?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
son.
When they're friends, yeah.
Now you just have to top it off with a Savage Jen Walters look.
What? I don't have a Savage Jen Walters look.
There it is. Now it's perfect.
Just scrunch up your face like that.
And if it doesn't go our way, we can just Hulk out, blow everyone's mind.
Oh, well, the only hulking out I'm going to do is in the legal sense.
Oh no, Jen.
Okay, so at this point, she's already She-Hulk. Got it.
Yeah, about that. It's true. I am a Hulk.
Breaking the
and I'm
fourth
guessing
wall
you're not going to be able
already.
to focus on this fun lawyer show until you know all about that. So let me get you up to speed. On a road trip with my cousin Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce!
I mean, my arm's starting to
Brucey!
What's up with this? Cheetos and chopsticks?
Yes, so you don't get Cheetos fingers.
That's smart. That's pretty much how you gotta eat flavor blasted goldfish as well. Because otherwise it gets all over your fingies.
Oh god.
Steve Rogers did not have a girlfriend before he went into the service.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. He was tiny.
America. And from that moment on, a symbol of America, he is rushed to the front lines, he becomes a war hero. Then he is frozen in ice.
Yep. We're tracking.
From world-threatening disaster to
So
world-threatening disaster.
Cap has never
That's when he's
boned
not
down
a fugitive from the law.
until he
Right?
went back in time.
Pretty busy.
But he wasn't getting busy.
Brendan Golly.
Obviously, Captain America was a virgin.
What ship is that? Oh, okay, so this is where... This is... So instead of a blood transfusion... Oof. Yeah.
Inhibitor.
Oh
Get
no.
away from me.
Oh no.
Get away!
Okay, so not a blood transfusion, just blood onto her. Yep. That would be very disorienting. Good thing she doesn't get as big as Hulk. Otherwise her clothes would just be gonzo. He kind of tears out all his clothes. Oh, they're gonna think she's some like domestic abuse kidnapping survivor or something.
Oh, girl, what happened to you?
Who did this to you?
Kidnapping happened.
Who did this to you does not care about you.
You do not need him.
Yeah, exactly. They think she's a domestic abuse survivor. Oh, makeover.
Hey, what's up?
Sup?
Fine.
You with anyone?
I'm waiting for my ride.
What's your name?
I think my boyfriend's just.
Oh, come on. Where you going? Let us keep you
Hey, we're
company.
just being friendly.
Okay, but now you're taking it a step farther. Oh, Bruce showed up right in time. The lack of like music, whether that be like score or like licensed music so far in the show is, I mean, here's a little bit, but it's like weird. Ooh, that's a Ultron helmet.
Hello?
Ultron Iron Man bot helmet thing. The Iron Legion.
Good morning. Sorry, I thought I'd get a little work done.
You're Hulk again.
But this is where I spent the blip fixing myself and integrating the
Okay.
Hulk banner
Cool.
identities.
In this tiny beach house lab.
Tony built it for me a few years ago. Tony Stark. He used to joke that it was a loaner, that one day he'd just swing by and take it back.
Yeah, of course he would joke about that. Now he's gonzo. So he can't take it back, it means it's all yours.
Did we hit a spaceship?
Yeah, it's a car in Class A courier craft. They're probably trying to deliver a message. I gotta get to the bottom of that. You know, weird stuff just kind of finds you when you're alone.
Yeah, you probably should get to the bottom of that.
My blood got into your system, and after the wreck, and you got a lethal dose of gamma radiation.
Lethal?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna die?
No, there was more to it that I'm going to explain.
That is not the sentence to take a pause on, Bruce.
Okay. I have been analyzing your blood, and the way it synthesized gamma, I was able to use it to completely heal my arm.
Oh,
Oh, lit.
because I'm better than you?
Indeed. I'm better than you? She's so short compared to him. It's hilarious.
God, I just got my own office. I have
Jen,
business
this is
cards.
it. There is no going back to what you were before.
Yeah, she's kind of freaking out, rightfully so.
You feeling better?
Pancakes, decent choice. Waffles are infinitely better, though. If he has a waffle maker, they should switch to that.
This is a multi-year
Okay.
journey you're about to
Okay.
embark on coming to terms with being the Hulk.
That's a big binder. Amy Santiago would love this.
You said multi-year?
About 15 years, give or take.
15 years?
top-
Years? God dang.
These transformations are triggered by distressed emotional states, so we need to know the exact threshold that causes it for you.
Ooh, put on a Pixar movie. When Bing Bong jumps out of
Ooh.
the wagon and Inside Out.
Yep. Putting on getting bing bonged. Like in Moon Knight. When Steven got bing bonged.
Bruce!
Yeah. No. This is a very drastic step up. Yeah, we did it. Yes.
Whoa.
She's so angry.
Why are you talking to me like I'm a stray horse?
Jen?
Yeah?
Wait, you're still Jen? Right now?
Yeah, indeed. The angry, gargly voice was off-putting.
Bruh. You know,
Bruh.
that's about a... Well, I guess we
Okay.
can just skip all that then.
Yeah, it kind of seems like I'm done here.
Haha, not so fast. You still can't control when you transform.
Yeah, but given the fact that she's chill when she transforms, does it matter?
Or Natasha for a little while would tell me a lullaby.
Walk me through how that worked again.
She
I don't
strokes his
have a great
hand.
explanation for it.
Sun's getting real low.
You can't be emotional. Forget Hulk rage. Just regular anger means death and destruction for everything and everyone around you. And I'm telling you, when people start seeing you as a monster that never goes away.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Dialectical behavioral therapy is an evidence-based psychotherapy. It's clinical, not spiritual.
Like, is that strict?
He's already just getting so annoyed.
I thought it was about getting my butt tight as hell.
Gross, Jen, and your cousin. Just close your eyes and breathe, all right?
Thought it was about getting my butt tight as hell.
Jeez, what the
So
hell,
her like
man?
density increases as Hulk.
Don't even think about moving into a place with less than 10-foot ceilings.
That's gonna cost so much money. 10-foot ceilings? Bruh. If you need elevated ceilings, you're gonna be just like spending cash.
Take it easy on this first one.
Nice toss. That one's supersonic.
Trying to show you how it's done.
I'm
Yeah.
shown.
That's gonna kill someone.
Man!
I need a lightsaber.
It's easy.
Little punk.
All buzz, no buzz.
That's good.
That's so much alcohol. That probably cost a frick ton of money.
You built this bar by hand?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, me and Tony. Well, Tony mostly drank, sat around.
Science bros. I like their chemistry a lot.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire.
Bruce, I'm not gonna be a superhero.
What else
Why
are you gonna
not?
do as a Hulk?
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time.
Indeed.
When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day because
Yes, indeed.
emotional or difficult or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
You're a little spicy there.
Being a superhero is not appealing to me. I'm not you, and I'm not gonna become you. I don't need to join some secret government contractor squad and have my entire life taken away from me. Dealing with a decade's worth of trauma? Why would you want that for me, Bruce?
Yeah. She makes a really good point.
Jen, don't you dare.
Yeah,
I'm
this.
serious.
You're not the only one!
What, you think you can just say a bunch of mean things like that and then take off?
Yes!
Say a bunch of mean things. surprised she was even able to push him away. Bruh, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. It's a rock. He's Gucci. Ooh. Oh, that's a little fist fight. I think he's gonna win, though. Okay. Does he want to try, though? Good, good.
That's all you got?
Didn't quite work. That one was a little better. I want to see him get really angry. His whole hut is gonna be gonzo.
My bar!
Sorry.
You're fixing it.
Yeah.
See you at the next family dinner.
See ya, fuzzball.
She's just taking his Jeep.
So that's how it all happened.
It's a CGI Jeep right there. That Jeep ain't real.
Basically, I was right and Bruce was wrong. And I never have to be a Hulk. Okay.
I disagree.
So now I'm gonna go win this case.
Something's gonna happen.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Okay, well now she doesn't even get to use her practice speech. Look at this elegant, beautiful giraffe that just entered.
Right now in front of everybody? Yes.
Tahani is jacking people up.
Who the hell are you? Jennifer Walters, attorney at law.
Attorney. It's weird hearing her talk in an American accent.
Yeah,
Look at those quads.
They
Dang,
wanna
girl.
know who's that girl.
Now a lot
I'm ready
more
to
people
give my
know.
closing argument now.
Dang, dang, dang. Ooh, that's the end? Frick, man. This is an interestingly paced first episode. I'm bored about whether or not he's a virgin. Incredible. Incredible.
Steve Rogers did so much for his country and he never got to experience sex. Did you see that ass?
It was America's ass.
Steve Rogers is not a virgin. He lost his virginity to a girl in 1943 on the USO tour.
Yes.
Did he really?
Knew it.
Oh, she
You're
was
not drunk?
pretending.
Captain America. Fuck.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. That was good. That was a really funny post-credit scene. Oh wow. Wow. Okay, I think that was a good start to the first episode. It definitely grew on me, I think, as the episode went. A couple things I did really enjoy. I really enjoy the chemistry between Mark Ruffalo and Tatiana Maslany, of their, like, you know, the cousin dynamic that they've got where they're always like slightly annoyed with each other, but like they also clearly love each other at the same time. Like, I really enjoyed how well that translated. I think it would've, a little bit of the pacing felt a little bit off, particularly right away, because we enter into, right, like right off the bat, it's just kind of like she's gonna be a lawyer, and then she's like, oh, you gotta know like how we got here. Like, I feel like it would have made more sense just to like start with the flashback and not necessarily have that present day thing at first, but it is what it is. And then maybe it was like, it could have been the lack of like music in the show, whether that be a score of some kind or like licensed music. At first, the whole like first half of the episode, it almost felt like there just like wasn't sound happening, which was kind of weird. But it is what it is. Couple things though. They get in a car crash after debating Steve Rogers' virginity, and where in the comic she gets like a blood transfusion from Bruce, in this one he just accidentally bleeds on her cut, and that's what turns her into it. Pretty funny sequence where she goes to this bar and this group of ladies literally think she's like fleeing from a domestic abuse situation, and she's like, guys chill, you don't need to make me look pretty right now. And then she almost attacks some douchey men, but Bruce tackles her and takes her to Mexico. I feel like part of the slightly odd pacing has to deal with like she seemed pretty like she kind of accepted it pretty quickly. That makes sense. Like, I would have been freaking out. I would have been way more scared than I was. But yeah, this is really where like the chemistry starts to take place, where Bruce is just trying to like, he's trying to like lead her through this whole process that he went through, right? This 15-year journey, according to him, where she doesn't need that. She can skip like the first 10 years of it because she doesn't have an alter ego as far as we know. She's just herself. And he's trying to like lead her through all these different mindfulness practices so she can control her changes and her anger and stuff like that. Because like I don't think she quite understands the gravity of what just happened to her. And that's another thing of like the pacing felt slightly off, because she like accepts it and she's like, oh, okay, so I'm like better than you. And she's kind of treating it like fairly lightly. I think as a viewer it would have been slightly more satisfying to watch her like actually struggle with the life-altering consequences of becoming a Hulk off the bat. But it is what it is. But I really enjoyed Bruce's Smart Hulk persona in this episode. I feel like I'm kind of split on my opinion of Smart Hulk, right? Like, I enjoy Mark Ruffalo, and I understand that they would have wanted to have him in these movies as much as they can as something somewhat close to himself, right? Like the Edward Norton Hulk doesn't necessarily work super well in like a long form many movie story, right? Like he, at a certain point, you can't just have continued events with the Hulk raging out every 5 seconds. Like you have to have a normal guy to keep him involved in the story. So I understand from the MCU standpoint of like wanting to continue to include Mark Ruffalo in the Hulk character without just like sending him off somewhere, because if he's going to be involved in all these interactions, he has to be somewhat chill when they're not like fighting. But I feel like they could have, I don't know. I feel like they didn't, the more I think about it, the less I like Smart Hulk in terms of like his entirety within the MCU. But in this episode, I enjoyed him more. So I kind of still wish they would go back to the like pure rage monster that is Hulk, right? Like that has always felt slightly more satisfying to me, especially his look in the Amazing Hulk, or whatever, Incredible Hulk, sorry. I really enjoyed that look. He looked vicious and angry. But yeah, again, he's taken Jen through this training mindfulness thing, like showing her the ropes a little bit, and she's like, generally, like, she's good, like she's kind of like a jack of all trades in terms of like her overall ability, but like, I mean, he's clearly way better at all of this than she is. He's been doing it longer, he's stronger than her. You know, he sent a boulder like into orbit. That thing's gonna come down on some like Indonesian like farmer somewhere. Like that thing, I don't know if it cleared orbit, but it's getting up there, and it's gonna come back down halfway across the world and murder some poor farmer. And he just doesn't, he doesn't care. It's fine. I did particularly enjoy the scene where he's kind of like, hey, you need to learn how to control your anger, and she's like, bitch, I do that every day. Like, who do you think I am? It was a tiny bit on the nose, just a little bit on the nose, which is weird. It's weird that a show where you have a character that breaks the fourth wall, like literally talks to the audience, it's a little weird that the moment where she's not talking directly to the audience felt more on the nose and talking to the audience-ish than the moments where she actually talks to the audience, if that makes sense. It felt a little bit not quite as cheesy and on the nose as like a lot of the stuff from like, say, Supergirl season 1 or whatever, or something like that, where they're like literally like preaching to you. But it is I think something that a lot of people don't think about or don't realize, that women are dealing with a lot of stuff like all the time. Like, all you have to do is, you know, read the news, you know, watch any news program, keep up with any sort of current event, and you'll realize that like half the time a woman just being like, no, I'm not interested in you picking me up at the bar right now, can be dangerous. Like, that's not a thing. Like, guys, I feel like guys take that for granted. We can walk home in the dead of night by ourselves, and we don't generally feel unsafe doing that, right? Like, I've never walked somewhere at night and felt the need like I needed to protect myself, right? But that's a normal thing for women. They literally carry self-defense things with them pretty much at all times, whether that be like pepper spray or like keeping their keys like in their knuckles. Like, that's a normal, like almost subconscious thing for women to deal with. And she makes a great point about how, like, one, as a woman, but two, as like a lawyer, she's constantly in a situation where she has to control her anger. Because if she actually said the things that she felt, you know, she would be labeled as a difficult person to work with, in her words. So I enjoyed that scene a decent amount. I thought it was very poignant, and you know, people need to hear that. It definitely did slightly come across as like a, hey audience, you know, this is a thing women have to deal with. Just a tiny bit, which again feels slightly weird when there's moments where she's literally talking to the camera. And that scene technically wasn't one of those. I don't know. It is what it is. But she wants to get back to her life, man. She's like, I'm trying to leave, bro. Like, and I get both sides of the situation where like she very much actually does have a life that she has to get back to. Like, she can't afford to just like chill here for years. Like, that's not a thing she can do. I think Bruce isn't quite fully aware of the traumatic, you know, effect that being the Hulk has had on his life. If weirdly, like, she's like, bro, you are living like on an island by yourself. Like, if you tried to go out in public, you'd be hunted. Like, you want that for me? Like, what do you mean? Like, you want me to live here isolated? That's not what my life is gonna be, Bruce. I have a whole plan, bruh. She's like, I got 300 grand in student loans I have to pay off. Like, this is not, I'm not chilling here. And it's like, you know, she's trying to bail, and he's like, I think there's a middle ground that they could have come to pretty easily, where they, you know, he's like, all right, well, how about we just like take it slow, like you like this is a big thing, and she's very much like wanting to move past it almost. Like, she seems pretty confident that she's not gonna turn into a Hulk at any given moment. Like, she can control it so well. But he is very much like the realist, being like, you're gonna turn into the Hulk. But she leaves in a CGI car, and it is what it is. And then we get to the trial, the present day trial again. And Jamil, her character, Gigantor or whatever the character's name is, Tahani from The Good Place, this beautiful, elegant 6-foot-tall giraffe. That's a Good Place reference. I don't know if I got the exact wording right, but in The Good Place, Kristen Bell's character always like calls her beautiful using super weird terms. Like, it's very funny. She breaks in though, and she's angry probably at the dude who is like negligent in his business practices, or whoever's on trial at the moment. She's probably angry at him. And meanwhile, Hulk just bops her, just crushes her. She did not regulate the strength of that punch very well. She sent her flying. But she could take it because she looks pretty strong. Very interesting to hear her with an American accent. It's very funny though. And then she's just like, I'm ready to give my closing statement now. And everyone's like, what the just happened? Like, none of these people were aware that she could do this up to this point, I assume, other than her friend. So it's probably fairly wild. But then the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene, I think that might have been my favorite part of the episode, if I'm honest, is the post-credit scene where she's pretending to cry. Granted, this is probably something that like a drunk Marvel fan has cried about before. Like, I would not be surprised if that interaction actually happened. Where she's like, have you seen his ass? Like, he does not deserve to be a virgin and die a virgin. Like, she's just upset. Not even being like, it should have been me, but like, just like the travesty of life that is someone that attractive dying a virgin. Like, she's just like, no. And Bruce spills the beans that on that USO tour. So like the tour where he's like super depressed, right? Like, he thinks he's gonna be part of something, and instead he's just playing a character on stage. During that tour, he lost his virginity. Very interesting. And then she puts down the mask and she's like, yes, Captain America fucks. And of course they cut it off right before she drops the F-bomb. Ugh, come on guys, have some fun. But no, yeah, I think this was a strong start for the first episode. It could have been better. Definitely could have been worse. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And from what I've seen, just the reviews I've seen from like people who have watched, I think that critics got like the first 4 episodes early or something like that. So I think the general consensus that I've seen from reviewers is that it starts a little slow. Like, the first episode or 2 are a little rough in terms of like quality, and then it like picks up. Like people enjoyed it more as it got going. Like they didn't necessarily enjoy the first episode that much, and the second episode got a little better, and the third episode got better, and by the fourth episode people were like, okay, this is my jam, this is like one of the best Marvel shows on Disney Plus. Like as far as I've seen, that's kind of been the general consensus. But then like critics on Rotten Tomatoes have been giving it a pretty high score so far, so that's pretty sweet to see. It definitely got review bombed by like Middle Eastern people on IMDb, which sucks. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily Middle Eastern people. I think at the time that article was out, people in the Middle East may have been able to see it, but like most people hadn't. I don't know. It's like a bunch of white dudes in their 30s review bombing this show because they dare to make a 20-second scene calling out misogyny. It's like, come on guys, like, what little babies, what can we not grow up and just like think critically about ourselves for a second? Like as men, are we so fragile in our egos and manhood that we can't see one small scene where a woman calls out the fact that most guys are sometimes D-bags? Like, come on guys, let's grow up here. Like, if you're review bombing this show, one, for that scene, but two, just because it's a woman, like, bruh, I guarantee you those D-bags over at Geeks and Gamers and like the Nerd Chronic or whatever that guy's name is, they're gonna put out 45 different videos about this one episode and how it's the MCU and everyone's going woke, gotta cave to all these libtards, and it's like, bro, fall off a cliff, please. Like, please fall into a vat of acid so we never have to see your dumb face and stupid misogynistic opinions ever again. Ugh. I really hope the actress does not face the same kind of vitriolic online hate that like Brie Larson got for Captain Marvel, because that would be a bummer. Tatiana Maslany is freaking fantastic, and I very much don't want her to have to go through that, even though I don't know her as a person, but like, you know, I feel like people in general shouldn't have to go through that. But, you know, I'm kind of just like ranting now about, you know, right-wing D-bags. So I think we'll move on. Overall, enjoyed the first episode. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. Are you a fan of She-Hulk already? She's like a 40-year-old character. I think Stan Lee created her like 40-some years ago. So it's not like a new character. Like, so, you know, if you're a fan of She-Hulk, technically, She-Hulk in the comics broke the fourth wall before Deadpool did. So she kind of like is the OG of breaking the fourth wall. But yes, like I've been saying, leave your opinion down in the comments. Would love to hear all your thoughts. That would mean a lot to me. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a ton to me. Helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to the rest of She-Hulk, because I'll be watching it every week. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider checking out my Patreon. That is linked in the description below. Again, since this is the first episode of a new season, that will be completely free and public for anyone to check out. And then if that's something you find yourself interested in, I have full uncuts for everything I watch on the channel. So your support would mean the world to me. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next week.